My lecture was divided into 4 sections. First, from the 13th to the 15th century. Second, the 16th century. Third, the 17th and the 18th century. And fourth section, 19th and 20th centuries. Each of these has its representatives. The first period is represented by Augustin Kažotić. He did not write about Mother of God, but he always promoted her veneration, and he himself was greatly devout to the Blessed Virgin Mary. In the 16th century, the Croatian Dominicans, like their brothers from all over the world, speak and write about Mary, and they think that one has to speak of Mary as clearly as possible. These theologians, like Clement Ranina or Dominic Buccia, promote popular devotion, founding fraternities that gather the faithful around the Dominican convents of the time. In the 17th century, the Dominican theologians, men such as Vincent Maria Gucetic or Arcangel Gucetic, dealt with strictly theological issues. In the 18th and the 19th century, we have Đurđević and Kalić, Dubrovnik Dominicans, followed by Anđeo Maria Miškov, Jordan Kuničić, and finally Zlatan Plenković, the man of our time. All of them wrote about Mary, preached about her, and promoted the Rosary as the foundation of renovation, the strength of our faith, and a very useful means of suppressing certain erroneous ideas, as well as various theologically heretical ideas. Vincent Maria Gucetic published 2 books of sermons. In them he elaborates on the Rosary of the Blessed Virgin Mary. He states that Rosary is an excellent means of strengthening the faith and for battling various misconceptions. He mentions the Cathars from the time of Saint Dominic, as well as many other historical heresies that denied the birth of Christ as one true God. Furthermore, they stated that man can save himself by his own spiritual efforts. There is no need to baptize children because the original sin has not fully robbed humanity of the ability to achieve grace of an exemplary Christian life by their own efforts. He often mentions Saint Thomas, though not always giving credit to him, the Church Fathers, like Saint John of Damascus, Jerome, Ambrose, and some Eastern Fathers that he cites as proof of his beliefs. Continuing on the subject matter of my lecture on the central topic of Mariology of the Syriac Fathers, which dealt with some general aspects of said Fathers, today I paid special attention to the Mariology of Saint Ephrem the Syrian. In one of his works he states, "When the Almighty saw that Adam wanted to become God, he sent his son so that his desire could be fulfilled." I attempted to approach the subject matter from various views. In the first part, I talked of the parallel between Mary and Eve, a recurring motif with the Syriac Fathers. We tried to compare the first chosen couple, Adam and Eve, with the other chosen couple, Mary and Joseph, and noticed several interesting points. In the second part of my lecture, I spoke of Mary, the Ever Virgin, in the works of Saint Ephrem. He advocates the opinion that Mary is virgin prior to the birth of Christ, during the birth of Christ, and after it. There were disputes as to whether Mary was still virgin after the birth of Christ, and Saint Ephrem states that it would be impossible for Mary not to have remained virgin, because this would be the violation of her vocation, of the will of God. She would be imperfect, and this would make the mystery of the Incarnation less understandable. The virginity of Mary is closely linked with Christ. Similarly, the Mariology is closely linked to Christology. Finally, I introduced the subject of Mary as an example of the elevated humanity, the image of heaven which our human parents have lost.